Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at the Destiny 2 Lightfall Strand trailer. If I sound like I'm sick, it's because I am, and I finally mustered up enough energy to be able to watch this. Not sure what to expect, but I hope that it can give us a little more information into the nature of Strand, so let's hope it's good.
Strand flows through you as it flows through everything. Now is the time to lean into using Strand, not back away from it.
Oh, that's actually fire. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, it explodes. Interesting.
Embrace where the current takes you.
Whoa, what was that? Whoa, okay. I gotta go back to this scene in particular. What in the world is that? Bro threw like a green tennis ball. Did the Titan throw that? He did. Is that one of those tangle? So you can throw a tangle and like grapple to it? That is actually really cool, and I think that can open up a lot of interesting gameplay. Hunters have a damn chaining kunai. That's actually pretty fire. That is a fire animation right there. Bow, bow, bow! Warlocks are like gonna be shooting just green magic out their hands. That's gonna be so cool to watch. The Threadling Master. There are so many. There's so many capybaras, bruh. Jesus. Okay, I pull up. Like, it looks like, are they like duplicating? How many is that? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 13 of them. Jeez. They're all over the place. Oh, hold on. Is that a chaining melee from the Titan? Oh my god. And then he pops his super. I'm glad this super has more of a ranged attack like this. I was really worried that it was going to just be a slice and dice type thing. I can really appreciate a ranged Titan ability. We don't have very many of them, and it's a mix. It's a roaming and ranged, so that's nice. What in the world did he do there? Oh, he caught his kunai again. Okay. That bit is actually so cool. Hunters and warlocks have really cool melees, it seems. Ooh, there's gonna be so much style in this DLC. I am looking forward to it. Holy. Looks like we ended up having more here on the Bungie.net article here. Inside Strands. Guardians prepare to unlock the mysteries of Strand. In Destiny 2, Lightfall players will gain access to brand new elemental power to add to the current lineup of Void, Arc, Solar, and Stasis. Like its predecessors, Strand will offer players exciting new abilities and powers to dominate the battlefield, along with new wrinkles that promise to change the way Guardians think about the traversal and combat. With Strand, Guardians will be wielding the fabric of the universe in ways that will be a formidable threat to anyone who stands in their way. Threads make the Guardian. From the neon-drenched streets of Neptune's secret city of Neomuna to Guardians soaring through the sky by grappling to an enemy spaceship, it's been clear from the start that Lightfall is different. Yes, things coming to a head in the penultimate chapter of the Light and Darkness saga, but Lightfall's influences and inspirations prove that there have been plenty of room for the team to let loose, to revel in their creativity and craft, and to have some fun. One of the touchstones the teams drew from was the bombast and flair of the 1980s action cinema, which is true. God, this screenshot is gorgeous. Yeah, we got to give props to the art team because they always knock it out of the park with how good the art direction is. Think of an era of film where no explosion was too big and no action set piece was too over the top. That aesthetic informed much of Lightfall's tone, and it certainly had a big influence on Strand itself. Even before it was formally known as Strand, the team had many concepts for Damage Type 5, as it was originally called in development, before aligning on the feature set and lore that brought it to life. We had a couple of front-runner concepts for a while, said Destiny designer Kevin Yates. Part of my desire was to have something more astral in the game. Strand was also aligned really well to the fantasy of the product, the 80s action hero. As Yanez puts it, there wasn't a single aha moment there where all threads of Strand fell neatly into place. Instead, it was a result of continuous dialogue with the team about what would make for exciting gameplay, what would make sense from a narrative standpoint, and how they could make those ideas manifest in the game. Deadly definitions. To understand Strand, let's first start with some vocabulary. Creating an object using Strand is weaving. Defeating an enemy affected by Strand will unravel them, disconnecting their life force from the weave, and creating a tangle. Left behind after a Strand debuffed enemy is defeated, a tangle is a swirling bundle of Strand fibers. These bundles of Strand explode when shot, causing an area damage to nearby enemies. Guardians can also pick up tangles and throw them to deadly effect. On the debuff side, there are 3 new terms to know: suspend, unravel, and sever. A suspended PvE enemy is lifted off the ground for a brief duration and is essentially disabled. In PvP, suspended players are lifted off the ground but can also still move, albeit slowly, and fire their weapons to fight back. Okay. Unravel. Attacking an unraveled enemy will cause threads to burst out of the target and attack other nearby targets. Once hit, that target will also become unraveled. That's gonna chain quite a bit, I'm assuming, in PvE. Sever. A severed enemy is less capable of affecting their material world, reducing their damage output as a result. The major buff coming with Strand is Woven Mail. With this ability, the Guardian is sheathed in a protective mesh of Strand matter, reducing incoming damage. Note that in PvP, Woven Mail will only reduce damage taken on the body. Head damage and melee damage will continue as normal. One of the most exciting new abilities in Guardian's Strand toolkit is the Grapple. With this ability, players can press the grenade button and their Guardian will weave a hook from the Strand matter which they can grab onto the anchor point. The grapple hook will then begin contracting, pulling the Guardian along. Strand's grapple can create its own points out of thin air, so you can always propel yourself through the sky even if there's not a solid surface to latch onto. Guardians will also be able to execute melee strikes during or at the end of a grapple, known as a grapple melee, which will deal bonus damage. Unravel an enemy, then push them backwards. That sounds like fun. We'll be able to really fly through these strikes, dude. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so much fun to play. Warlock Broodweaver. The Warlock is our Strand minion master, said Smith, when explaining how Destiny 2's Master of All Things, Space Magical will utilize Strand. To understand how Warlocks will bend Strand to their will, you first have to understand Threadlings. Threadlings are explosive minions woven from Strand matter, he said. The Warlock Broodweaver, being the cerebral type, is more in tune with Threadlings than other classes. All Threadlings will run forward, jump on enemies, and explode, but only the Warlock's Threadlings will return to the Warlock and travel with them if they can't find a target. Oh, you're gonna be walking a bunch of Strand capybaras everywhere. That's gonna be great. Let's say that I have 3 threadlings and I only need 2 of them to defeat an enemy. If I'm a warlock, the last one's going to run back, hop onto me, and condense down into a form that's orbiting me, which is known as perching. Then, the next time I attack an enemy, it will pop off and attack that same enemy, which really gives the sense of having these minions that are doing my bidding. They love me, and they want to come back and hang out with me. But it's not just summoning and wielding threadlings that warlocks excel with. Their strand melee attack, warlocks cast Arcane Needle, a deadly projectile which tracks targets, causing high damage and unraveling them upon impact. Warlocks will be able to quickly chain 3 Arcane Needle attacks in a row. Warlocks have 2 strand aspects to utilize, and it's here where threadlings once again enter play. Alright, this is where it's gonna get good. Weaver's Call. On Riftcast, the warlocks weave 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface. Any perched threadlings are converted into additional eggs. Mindspun Invocation. This aspect improves several of the warlock's abilities. Okay. Grapple. When you execute a grapple melee, the warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs from the target. Threadling Grenade. You can consume your threadling grenade to generate a full complement of perched threadlings. That's so weird, but kind of cool as hell. Shackle Grenade. You can consume your Shackle Grenade, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. The Warlock's telekinesis abilities accumulate with their Super Needle Storm, a deadly combination of burst damage and area denial. On cast, the Warlock conjures strand matter into a fusillade of hardened spikes, launching them forward with a wave of their hand. The missiles will stick into enemies and the environment alike before detonating and reweaving themselves into an army of threadlings that will hunt down any survivors. Good God, warlocks are going to be sending out all kinds of strand things, strand minions. Hunter Threadrunner. While every Strand Guardian class will have access to the grapple and the array of mobility options it brings, the Hunter takes movement and speed to an entirely new level. From attacking multiple enemies at once while in midair, to using a rope dart weapon that benefits from maximum agility. It's no wonder that playing the Threadrunner has been compared to the thrill of watching a superhero come to life. The Threadrunner's melee attack, Threaded Spike, has the Hunter hurling out a rope dart that bounces between enemies, damaging and severing them before returning to the Hunter. Upon its return, it grants melee energy for each enemy hit. Hunters can catch the rope dart by pressing the melee button at the right time. Perfecting that timing will earn the player additional amount of melee energy. Oh, so that means once you throw your thing out, that would retract to you. If you basically do a perfect timing, like a perfect reload in like Battlefront, it'll reload your weapons faster. That's actually pretty cool. Ensnaring Slam. While in the air, press the air input to slam downwards, suspending all nearby enemies. Widow's Silk. This aspect grants an additional grenade charge. The Hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it latches, which fully refunds grenade energy when grappled to. Hunters can use this ability to set up chains of grapple points that their entire team can use, greatly enhancing their ability to move around in combat and or traverse the environment. Wow, so like hunters are going to have like a bit of a supportive role if they choose to. That's actually pretty interesting. The lethal combination of grapple and rope dart converge with the Threadrunner Super. Silk Strike. When activated, the hunter uses their grapple to freely move through the world in a third-person view, while also throwing the rope dart to strike down enemies. Hunters will be able to use grapple more often during the super, and the rope dart features both a light and a heavy attack. The light attack is meant for single opponents and can be used in air and on the ground. When on the ground, the hunters can chain attacks seamlessly, hitting an enemy with the tip of the dart deals bonus damage, and defeating an enemy with it causes the enemy to explode. So that's what we saw in the trailer. The heavy attack has the hunter swing the rope dart around in a 360-degree arc, damaging all nearby enemies. As with the light attack, this can be used on the ground or in the air. Hunters are going to be like helicopters, bro. They're going to be taking off and going bye-bye. A hulking mass. Oh, Titan Berserker. I'm hoping to hear some good stuff from this. The hulking mass of a guardian stands before a squad of enemies, ignoring their paltry taunts. Without warning, Gigantic blades made of tightly woven strand matter surround her hands, and she leaps into the fray. Powerful blades whirling in fury. The Titan's powerful woven gauntlets slice through scores of her foes, and the enemies of humanity tremble. From the start, the fantasy for the strand-wielding Titan Berserker was wild, untamed power, as his subclass name suggests. The Titan uses Strand in ways that ensure maximum carnage, with in-your-face attacks that can sever enemies en masse before they are permanently deleted. The Titan's Strand melee ability is Frenzied Blade. With a press of the melee button, the Titan dashes forward and slashes at enemies with their Strand arm blades, severing victims and decreasing their damage output, with a default set of 3 charges. Oh, a default set of 3 melee charges. Wow, that'll actually be great. Titans can chain these slashes together for maximum offensive power. Titans will also be able to utilize a pair of aspects. Into the fray. Destroying a tangle weaves woven mail under the Titan and nearby allies, in addition to reducing damage taken. This aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration while wearing woven mail. Okay, so that's nice. There's going to be a lot of slicing and dicing with this class. Dranger's Lash. When the Titan casts their class ability, the Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. The Titan Berserker's super, Blade Fury, sees the Titan dual-wielding fist blades and roaming the battlefield with ill intent. Let's go! The super's light attack is a supercharged version of the Frenzied Blade melee. And each light attack that connects increases the next attack speed, which tops out after a maximum of 3 hits. In addition, connecting with light attacks also builds energy for the super's heavy attack with each hit. With the heavy attack, the Titan hurls a pair of projectiles forward that seeks out enemies. Nice. Suspending and damaging them on impact. Elsewhere, Strand will see 3 new grenades, including Grapple, which is controlled with the grenade button, the Threadling grenade, splits into 3 projectiles that weave into threadlings upon impact. The Shackle grenade effectively acts as a bola, detonating as a suspending blast and sending out similar secondary bolas to suspend nearby enemies. Finally, it would not be a new elemental power in Destiny 2 without new fragments to explore and customize your strand-wielding guardian. Here's a look at a few of the new fragments. Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapons and grants increased weapon handling and airborne effectiveness for a short time. Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with the Tangle grants melee energy. Thread of Finality. Finishers generate threadlings. Oh, jeez. Warlocks have like 1,000 different ways to just spawn minions. Good lord. Thread of Warding. Picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. That's really good, especially with the kind of build that I go with. I like to match my damage subtype to my subclass, so having a ton of matching damage, spawning a bunch of orbs of power, and then just getting some damage reduction for it, that's great for my like orb class that I like to play. From enemy seeking threadling minions to bombastic supers to game-changing new mobility options, Strand is bringing a host of unique abilities to every Guardian's arsenal. Prepare to conjure and weave for yourself in Destiny 2 Lightfall when it launches on February 28th. What more can I say, guys? Wow. What am I to say other than just this all seems exciting beyond, belief. I think that the Warlocks are getting pimped out with the ability to just have minions everywhere and all of these abilities to just control a literal little miniature army that will swarm everything. Titans feel very independent, I'd have to say, with how that they control. They feel like they're just like, haha, I'm unstoppable. You can't hurt me. Get sliced up. And hunters feel actually a lot more supportive, like with those aspects that allow other guardians to grapple onto them and stuff like that. Warlocks are just, they feel like they're going to be the highest DPS. I think that's what I'm going to say. Warlocks are going to have the strongest super with all of the threadling shit, and the area of denial abilities that they have seem very exciting. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction to the Strand trailer for Destiny 2 Lightfall and reading up more on the information on the classes, the aspects and fragments. Let me know in the comments which class you think is going to have the best time in Lightfall. I'm going to have to say Warlocks because that class looks like a lot of fun. In any case, I hope you enjoyed and have an awesome day.